going to Lambeau, and we all know about that man, Aaron Rodgers, and the ghost of Christmas past. Even though we're in November, so I'm wondering how are we going to exit Lambeau, and so let me throw out these narratives to y'all. Is it going to be a Green Bay heroic last stand in Lambeau? Is the weather going to play a factor? It's going to be Ice Bowl Part 2, and Green Bay gets a win. McCarthy going to get his last laugh. Roger does it to the Cowboys again. Or basically how we all think it might go, which is the Cowboys defense just dominates Green Bay's own line and just murders that man A-Rod. Which narrative is most likely?
So it's going to be a combination of two. And it's going to be the defense. One, partially because Green Bay's O-line, they don't really want to play. They don't feel like protecting right now, so easy dubs. And then your other narrative that's going to hit is the McCarthy gets the last laugh on that one. Because, dude, Green Bay, their game against Detroit, miserable. Offensive line they don't want to play, and then the receivers can't catch. I have a pretty solid feeling about this one.
Well, yeah, and it is a high of 36, I believe, on Sunday. So that's not very.
I heard something closer to 20, but nevertheless, yeah.
Yeah, well, high of 36, low of 20.
True.
Dude,
Okay.
it goes from being 70 degrees on a Thursday to 39 the next. Wow. However, I think it's sunny. It primarily is going to be sunny, but
we're entering.
I mean,
daylight savings time, so the second half will be no sun. So, and then let's just say the wind is going to pick up, and it's going to be ice cold conditions. I might say.
Well,
go
okay.
ahead.
So also on the Packers on the injury front, so the best defensive player, Rashawn Gary, done for the season with the torn ACL. In that Lions game, Bakhtiari, Stokes, Dobbs, Aaron Jones, and Watson all left with injuries. So, boy, I don't think they've had their bye, but they need it in a bad way. If there wasn't already, like, I get why Cowboys fans are like, oh, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's done guys. As long as the offense doesn't fool around too much, it should be a very winnable game for the Cowboys, to say the least.
Yeah, I think I was listening to some talk shows today, and I kind of got to agree with something I heard. Is I don't understand how Green Bay can even, move the ball down the field without like something stupid happening. Not to mention, or as you already mentioned, the injuries, and I mean we all see that O-line play, and they do not look like a good front. So barring some type of Thanksgiving miracle or holiday season miracle, man, I think we could be walking.
Well,
this is a totally different ballgame than we thought it was. At the beginning of the season.
I will say this: Green Bay doesn't necessarily get blown out, so don't expect a blowout just because this is the NFL, as I always like to say.
Fair enough.
So, but I think,
point.
like I said, as long as there's no foolishness by the offense, I think you're gonna probably win that game. But the real question I want to ask y'all is, we can actually no, Ian, go ahead and. No, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and ask it. What number we want Odell Beckham wearing? That's what I want to know.
No, that's some kind of a dream of mine. We talked earlier about when we were at the trade deadline. I said it'd be fun to add a receiver through free agency as another means we can take advantage of. I'd love that. Dude, that'd be awesome. I definitely would love to see Odell with the star on the side of his helmet. That would definitely add another dimension to the offense too.
Weezy, I'm gonna have to be a politician since we're in election year. Sir, you did not answer the question. What number do you want Odell wearing? Because I saw this post
right now.
I saw this post that said Odell to number 23. Man, that would look fine.
What?
No, it would not. A receiver does not need to be wearing a 20 number. That's disgusting.
You making that up? No way, bro.
That's crazy. There's no way you believe that. 23? God, no. Is there a single digit available? Give him a single digit.
No one wears 13. Give him
Yeah,
13.
give him 30. Wait, what's Gallup?
What happened to Michael Gallup?
Oh, I'm tripping. I forgot about that.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Gallup got to give it up.
I think there's there's no 8, is there?
No. Okay, so I'm gonna veto all single digits in favor of 23 until we come up with a better number. 19. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to 19 or 18.
Is there a number 2? Do we have a number 2?
Yeah, Jordan Lewis.
He's out. That's all right. He can pass it on. Just for the rest of the year.
Regardless.
All right, 23 is the answer.
Everybody was okay. So obviously, we heard all week with there being a bye. There just people wringing their hands, talking about, I can't believe the Cowboys didn't pull the trigger on a trade. Obviously, we kind of got the speculation of the particulars in regards to the Brandon Cooks deal. Apparently, they wanted a second and a 4 plus all of Cooks' salary, which is pretty high. Basically, almost as much as Amari. It would be almost as much as you've been paying Amari Cooper for next year's salary. And obviously, there was also a report that they made an attempt at Jerry Jeudy. Would you prefer them? Would you have preferred that they made one of those 2 trades, or would you, if they were able to pull out the Odell sweepstakes, would you prefer that?
How many years was on the Brandon Cooks deal?
Let me look. Off the top of my head, I want to say it was like 2 more years.
2 would have been fine. Yeah, I would have liked Brandon Cooks in here. That would have been pretty fun. I think he's still pretty dynamic.
Even for the amount that you would have to pay him and you were giving up.
It's 20. What do you know what his contract? Here, let me look that up.
He's under contract. He's under contract until 2020 or 2025.
Okay. At 29, well, that's 4 more years. 3. Yeah.
Yeah, his base salary next year would have been $18 million, and the year after that would have been $13 million. So,
see, like those numbers are no issue to me.
But okay,
I don't know.
But they just gave up Amari Cooper, I think, who would have been $20 million.
So I was going to continue to say that I just don't think the Jones boys would have done that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of thought Cooks was too expensive, and with that salary, I don't know. Too, you guys made some good points. Just like talking about the player, I thought, going after Odell makes more sense to me. Jerry Jeudy, he's young and everything, but I don't know if it's the side effect of playing with Russell Wilson, but that man has not impressed me at all in the NFL level. So I would like to see them go after Odell more than anything, but I'm still hesitant about. Stephen Jones has said good things about him, right? But Stephen Jones is at the controller, so do we really expect that man to
so
pull the trigger?
The rumor was that Odell wanted from the Rams a contract similar to Michael Gallup, which I believe, off the top of my head, I think that's kind of like you're looking at like about $13 million a year. So it's like middle of the road wide receiver money. So the point is, at this day and age of Odell, he's not as expensive as he normally is.
Which, he does want a couple of years on there, right? Until 2025.
Yeah.
With that, I say go for it.
Yeah, at that money, I would have no issue bringing Odell in.
But the locker room guys.
Oh boy.
The most half-baked.
No, we all can agree that I ain't trying to push that because I think that's ridiculous. But we all can agree, like, the man had toxic situations in New York, and then that was so long ago. Let's just even bring up Cleveland. Come on. We all see what's going on over there. And then when, I guess, the Rams needed him, that dude answered the bell. So I don't understand why that's even a topic. And I apologize for bringing it up, actually.
Yeah, most misunderstood man of all time, in my opinion. Just because he's flamboyant and, has some character, and I mean, I think if he wants to be a star here, I mean, he already is a star. But I feel like the lifestyle here will fit in nicely rather than Buffalo, Green Bay. You think
Well,
Odell
so
want to
yeah, he
live?
did.
Think he want to live in those places? I don't know about that.
It's interesting he brought them up and whatnot, and I do kind of almost feel like he always bring up the Cowboys just so you can get that price up. But
But
it
okay,
does seem
I
like it's
think
either
we've heard.
between the Bills
I
and the Cowboys for
I think we've heard it from both
productive team.
sides, both parties being interested though. So like, I don't even really
Hmm.
necessarily like that narrative of the agents just floating out the Cowboys to get some interest, because I think both sides are mutually interested. It's just a matter, as we all know, how much it's gonna cost when it comes to Stephen Jones. So
Yeah, and I mean, I do think a little bit of that's at play when it comes to the Cowboys are interested. So we'll go from 13 to 15 or something like that. So I do think there's a little bit of that, but like Justin said, there's interest both ways. So I mean, I don't think this is like complete smoke and mirrors. I think it's something that could potentially form into something. So I don't want to get ahead of myself either, but yeah, I do think there's a chance this happens. And as far as the locker room thing, zero issues on that. So overblown.
I want to kind of start this segment off with, just stay on sides. I'm gonna hit y'all with the hard count, and I want you guys to just don't jump off sides. This is 4th and 2. I'm really not. I'm really not going to be punting. I'm really not going to be going for it. I'm probably going to punt. But as we sit right now and we take a look at the AFC East standings, could everybody's Super Bowl pick possibly lose this division, especially with the Josh Allen news this morning or this afternoon?
So, oh man, with the Dolphins coming up the rear the way they
I,
are,
I think no, both the Dolphins and the Jets are one game back, I believe,
Jets are right
and they
there.
both
Yeah.
have the tiebreaker right now.
See, man, it would be a lot to say
Whoa.
that the Bills will not win the division, but the door is much more open today than I thought it would be.
Again, that man got the elbow injury as well, so that's at play.
Justin, let me say this. That's an $8 blue check because that take is verified, sir. Because I
Ooh.
mean, because man, the way they lose into these AFC East teams, their own division, that man, and in these critical games too, the quote unquote undisputed MVP. I mean, it's too early, but the MVP has been pooping it down the stretch, but nobody want to talk about it. So I mean, you can add
Well,
all the
yeah,
players you want, Von Millers, all these splash names, but if you can't even complete passes and whatnot and do something other than get a hype crew going, nice PR going, man, it's going to be interesting. And I mean, their run
the
game
only
too. I don't know,
both of those
The Jets and the Dolphins.
both of
Run
those
out, Steve.
games, that high powered offense didn't was just throwing up on itself. Obviously, we speculated about whether if it was the Miami Sun when they played the Dolphins, but I mean, it wasn't hot in New York, and that boy Josh Allen's throwing picks left and right.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially in that Dolphins game, just short arm and everything, and that's of course pre elbow injury. Uh, yeah. You know what? I was definitely too soft on my stance earlier. Uh, Bills can kick it right now. I'm out on them.
Well,
Give
I
me the
believe
Dolphins to win the division.
they
No. Here,
oh,
you heard it. Dolphins are winning that division.
Tyreek Hill MVP.
Hey, and Jalen Waddle
No,
opposite
no, no,
him.
no, no,
That's a
no,
real.
no. Look at Tyreek's stats. That man tearing it up
Well,
right
I'm just
now.
saying, just having both them, they're just such an insane duo at this moment. That the Dolphins are going off really hard right now.
Tyreek's on track to get like Megatron type numbers, right, Justin? And I saw like
Yeah, it's
he
some stupid.
he
Like
can
he's
beat
already at
it
a
like even
thousand.
before, yeah, without the extra game. And something like he has two like less than 50 yards yard games, and he's still like on track to beat it. That man is just going insane, even though he's wearing a terrible ass uniform for the Miami Dolphins.
Well,
But
remember,
man,
Kansas City fans told me that he's not going to be the same without Patrick Mahomes. Without Tua's arm, it's just not very good. It's not like Patrick Mahomes level. Although people, I know we're gonna get to this later, and this is a perfect transition now that I brought up the Chiefs. But my two plays that I gave y'all, I told y'all, you follow this pod, you make money. Both the Texans and the Titans covered, despite the quarterback not really wanting to be able to throw the football. So listen to this pod, you're gonna win money, man. So we're gonna get to that later. But any thoughts on that Titans Chiefs game since we just brought up Patrick Mahomes? I mean, granted, the Chiefs said you're gonna throw the ball 70 times and you're gonna like it.
I
well, I would just
mean,
like to say, man, like Tyreek's gonna miss Patrick Mahomes. Man, I think the Chiefs are missing Tyreek Hill. That's how it should have been. And then this is the typical Sunday night football. I'll admit I didn't watch any of it, but seeing the score line and like I gotta started watching it at the end of the second quarter, third quarter. Just the Chiefs being so boring and having no run game, not able to move the football against the Titans. Man, that was such a typical Sunday night snooze fest. The Chiefs like kind of feature every season, or yeah, basically every season for a while now.
yeah, and there's a little bit of a little like misnomer paradox going on. I was told that when you pass the ball 60 times, you're going to put up points. 20 ain't much. Cooper Rush does
Oh,
that.
the,
I
the,
mean,
the analytics, Rudy. If I could get 10 yards per play on every pass, why wouldn't I pass it every time? Why would I run the ball?
dude, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like they act like the law of diminishing returns doesn't exist, and the fact that I actually completely agree with what Ian's saying too, that the loss of Tyreek Hill completely affects how that offense runs. The Chiefs have just not looked like their previous teams that have gone to Super Bowls. They just look real weak.
But Rudy, the Chiefs and the Bills. I mean, they're just a tier above everybody else in the NFL. Like, come on. Like, we might as well just punt the season and just give the trophy to those two teams. Remember, guys, didn't a couple of weeks ago I make that declaration that neither one of those teams are going to go to the Super Bowl? Just want to float that back out there. Given the news of today, given just kind of how both teams been playing this past week, I don't know. I
Are you
think
saying you're going to be 3 for 3 on predictions now?
it's a given. It's a given. Because I could see the Dolphins winning the conference. I could see the Ravens winning the conference. I could see, not the Bengals. No way. I don't. Even though they beat up the corpse of the Panthers, but
They can't beat their own division, so they ain't gonna make it
yeah,
that far.
the Titans could knock one of those two teams out. So, oh yeah, get Tannehill back at the helm. Titans might be cooking with
Jeez.
grease.
I don't know, man. That's like comes with a grain of salt, Tannehill, because that man, he got that Texas A&M disease. That dude be putting up in the regular season when it comes time to playoff time. It's yet to happen.
Mm.
But speaking of clutch, I don't fall for the old man's bait this week. That game, like, don't let nobody tell you that the old man was clutch. It was more of the Rams throwing up on themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you'd pointed out, I was with you, and you'd pointed out exactly what was happening on that last drive where over the middle they let one go and then they completely lose it, completely panic, stop playing the sidelines. And I mean, they just gave it to him at that point. And so it just, you definitely, it's incredible how the entire game you can do nothing. Every point that was scored by your team was by the field goal kicker. And then that last drive occurs and people are just back on the Brady bus.
Well,
Miss
it
me with
also
that.
it helps a lot when you're doing nothing, but also the other team's offense is doing absolutely nothing. And so when
Yeah.
you wait one fourth down stand with less than 2 minutes to go, and the other team has no timeouts, I would think you would think you're gonna win that game. But the Rams'
Yeah,
ineptitude, led
no,
by that fraud Stafford, oof. It
the
was a
Rams
it
are
was a
terrible,
nice
man.
it was a nice fumbling of the rock by both sides of the ball there.
And it was exactly what I was expecting. During the pick'ems last week, we selected this game, and I told you it's going to be an ugly game, terrible offense, and at the end, the Bucks win it. And that's what it was. But I mean, it was miserable to watch, and anyone that was like excited for a Stafford versus Brady game in 2022, they need to quell their expectations.
I'm I can't I've never seen a team panic like the Rams did. I don't understand. But Tampa Bay wouldn't do nothing all game, and you're just like, oh man, one completion over the middle with no timeouts left. Guys, just play extremely soft. They can have the sideline. They can have the sideline. We just cannot have the ball go through the middle again. And for that to be is what drew you off sides. It's beyond me because it's it was malpractice, quite honestly. And Ramsey, we saw his quote after the game. He should be upset as well because how on earth can the Rams not run the clock out after you make a defensive stand like that?
True. So what game was funnier in the fourth quarter? Was it that game, the uh, the Vikings and Commanders with Heineke throwing up on himself, or the Chargers and
What
the
about the
Falcons
ref?
finishing up? Yeah, that
Oh,
game had a
that's
couple
my
of
favorite.
hilarious moments. So yeah, which was the funniest game of those three?
Well, so that for sure was my favorite play of the game, of the week, I should say. It was the ref mashing into Harrison Smith,
Oh,
freeing up
I don't.
Curtis
It was
Samuel for the
I
No,
don't
TD.
think it was the other white defensive back that
that
Oh,
was
messed
his
up.
clone.
Sendejo or whatever.
Yeah, it was his
Yeah,
clone,
yeah,
who
no.
ironically has like the reverse number.
It was fantastic, dude. I love that play so much. It's like back when you would watch, and it not was it not Blue Follies or whatever. You know, that's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what you would see on there. That's a folly right there. I loved it.
Weezy, they
I don't
also
know.
had the defense had another signature celebration followed by a nice
The
bowling
bowling.
routine. Yeah, but the best part about it was the last pin to fall, the wobble wobble wobble. And then
Yeah, I respect that one. See, a group photo, I mean, fifth graders could line up for a class picture, but bowling, that takes coordination, takes talent. I really
What?
like that.
yeah,
Creativity.
Like
standing
I
like
really don't want to
pins.
I really don't want to diminish the celebration because I actually enjoyed it with the spin that they put on it. No pun intended. But come on, like to call that like to be like, oh, anybody can, like, yeah, bro, people have been bowling for years as a celebration. Like, come on, that
Point
was
out
like,
one more bowling celebration you've seen.
Oh, it's definitely
bro,
been
we
done
saw it
before, but
all the time. What are you
Sure. All right,
talking
I'm not
about?
saying it's never happened, but you guys love the same class photo that they take every week. You act like it's brand new, never been done,
No one said it was in Brent.
overused. There's probably four of them this week. You didn't even notice because they're so frequent. They're not noteworthy.
Because why mess up a good thing when it's done right? When you hit the crack of
Yeah.
the ball on the bat. But however,
It just don't move anyone.
a team that can't do nothing right, them damn Falcons, every week they do something stupid to lose or almost lose a game.
well,
And
they're
the
going up
agree
against their ultimate test with
the
LA, who also does everything
the West
stupid to
Coast
lose the game.
Falcons.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my word! Only thing that came out of that good that came out of that is the man, the kicker, Dicker, as we're sporting. For some reason, he can't be on a roster. So every single team that needs a game-winning kick, they just sign him and then cut him the next day. So
Good God. Yeah, no. LA is like they had so much hype coming into the season, and I like Austin Eckler. He's a good part of their offense, but it's almost like that offense just doesn't play that good, man. They really don't.
You
And
you made
I got to
me.
watch it better to see if like offensive line is a bigger role or something going on, but They just got nothing.
I think it actually has to do with the quarterback's ribs, man. Ever since they cooked him in Kansas City and served him up, or was it Kansas City? Yeah, right. That man just been kind of poo poo and basic. But you drew me off sides with that Austin Eckler take because like he has this stupid ass photo on Fox Sports. You know how they do the drawings. He's got this like weird old rocker. If you guys see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's so annoying seeing him whenever he scores a touchdown. They show that stupid face of his.
I've not seen that. I need to find it though.
Probably the most frustrating game in my opinion. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals got to be the most frustrating team to watch in all of football. That team, like y'all can keep going with the Kyler Murray Call of Duty jokes. I know it's real funny. Ha 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 ha. He likes to play video games. He's not locked in. But man, that offensive line yesterday or on Sunday, they made the Seahawks look like the 2015 Broncos pass rush. Every time Kyler would get the snap, immediately pressured. Dude couldn't do
What a
nothing.
weird reference, by the way.
In what way?
Hey, that was a good D line.
Oh,
the Broncos.
I mean, they were looking like Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware out there, dude. It was off. It was an awful day for Kyler back there. It's just, I mean, shout out to Gino, shout out to Pete Carroll, Sneaky Pete, and all them boys. But
oh, Sneaky Pete.
Kenneth Walker going off.
There's no reason why the Cardinals O-line should be this bad. And it's this bad. It's terrible. It's probably one of the worst O-lines in football. And what's even worse than that, I can't even imagine if you're a Cardinals fan. Because, okay, I'm going to walk you through how frustrating this is. And I didn't even pick the Cardinals in our pick'ems. They get a touchdown late, and I think they cut it to 3. And it's, I want to say, like 3 some odd minutes left. They got 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. Hey, I don't care how bad your defense is. Routinely, everybody gets this done. Everybody at least gives the offense a chance at the ball. Like, very rarely do they not get a stop. The first play of the game, first play of the drive, I'm not mistaken. He was either the first or the second. The Seahawks run a boot action to Fant. Fant takes this ball, I want to say at least 50 yards down the field. The air yard of the pass was probably 2. And the Arizona Cardinals said, bro, we ain't going to tackle today. Game on the line, we not tackling.
Was there a lot of missed tackles? Was nobody around him or what?
He just outran everybody. And I'm just like, why? Like, I get it. Dude's a pretty good athlete for a tight end. But it was just like I don't want to even talk about, like, I won't even question effort or nothing. I don't really like all that type of thing. But it was just atrocious. And then, still, even though that they're already in field goal range, it's a 3-point game. You could force them to kick a field goal. At worst, you just need a touchdown. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop Kenneth Walker. The man was just working them that entire drive and ultimately just give up a touchdown. And I'm just like, I can't imagine being a Cardinals fan watching this team the back half of last year and this first half of this year.
Well, I won't question it. I won't question the effort, but the body language by Kyler Murray probably threw the defense through a loop and what ruined the entire game.
We're not bringing up that narrative. We're not bringing.
I'm just playing.
That man could do nothing yesterday. All he could do was catch the snap, or I think there was twice that the center snapped it over his head. You would be frustrated too if you were him. But who really needs to be frustrated as well is Colts fans. Boy, oh boy.
That boy Jim Irsay just said
incredible.
Hey, did y'all see the press conference or hear the press
I saw some of it. I saw some snippets of it. It's amazing. It's pretty good.
The dead man walking, the GM basically is like, hey, I mean, y'all were killing me. uh with my drafting, but we haven't been able to get any old linemen because I've been doing what y'all want me to do as far as picking. And I'm just like, oh, and then
Boy.
Irsay throws Andrew Luck under the bus, talking about I never had a quarterback retire in its prime against me. And it's just like,
What a
y'all
guy.
didn't have to bench Matt Ryan. Like, if y'all just wanted to. Actually, no, I think
Jim
they do
Irsay
want
is
to.
like Jim Irsay is amazing though. Like he twisted into like all of the having no experience is actually a good thing.
Well, yeah.
And
Before we go any further, guys, the reason why the press conference was called is because they said, "Bro, Jeff Saturday, I mean, granted, intricate
How
part
insane
to
is that?
their run in the early 2000s, setting the protections as the center for Peyton Manning. But they said, bro, you know what we need? We need him to be our head coach.
dude, like
Off
it's incredible
the
to go
ESPN
from
set.
yes. As
Jim
an
Jim
ESPN analyst, man. Oh my goodness.
Jim Irsay had been watching too many Christmas movies or lame ass football movies to think this is gonna work.
He was watching old highlights and he's like, "Hey, that guy snapping the ball's got something there."
I like his little jab at the analytics, though. The man
What he
Remind
said
me
said.
of what it was
he,
again.
he said this is a good thing that he doesn't have any experience because these experienced coaches they I forget what the other thing he says they rely on, but he's like when it comes to making a decision, they just rely on the analytics and something else, and we don't want none of that. So it's just
Yeah, and he was saying the
That's
coaches that have been in the
incredible.
league, that have been in the league for a while, have fear, and Jeff Saturday does not have fear because he hasn't been
mm-hmm.
in the league.
He has no how.
Oh man, thank God I'm not a Colts fan. That is rough. And now it's time for the weekly pick'ems. Ian, why don't you go ahead and update us on the standings?
All right, boys. I feel like we should all be very proud of how we're doing because we are kind of killing it. We're all over 500, a healthy over 500. But the patterns are starting to take place because bringing up the rear once again is Rudy Garrow with 9
Oh,
wins.
God damn it.
Uh, one game ahead of him is Justin with 10 wins, and I'm on top with 11 wins.
That's outrageous. What is happening? All right, well, I don't know what that's about, but we're going to change that right now. We're going to go ahead and
You
start
say
with
this
Thursday
every
Night
week.
Football. Well, I was just goofing in the past, but I'm going to start you right now. Thursday Night Football. We've got a divisional matchup here with the Falcons traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Who you got?
Oh boy, Falcons. Cordell Patterson's back and healthy, so
Yes, give me the Falcons.
And it's a clean sweep for the Falcons. Moving on to Sunday, we've got the Seahawks traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Who do y'all got?
no, they're in Germany.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
apologies. In Germany, we've got the Seahawks and Bucks. Who y'all got?
Give me the Seahawks. Don't believe that Buccaneers fugazi that happened with 50 some odd seconds ago.
Yeah, this would be a nice win for the Seahawks if they can get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and go with them.
Clean sweep. Seahawks for all of us. Moving on. We got the Lions traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Who do y'all got?
Chicago. They're playing a lot better.
Is this their first matchup with each other this season?
I'm
I
not
believe
sure.
So.
I'll be interested. Yeah, I kind of think Chicago has found something with this run game. Give me the Chicago Bears.
And again, it's a clean sweep. I'm taking the Bears. See, half the time I'm picking the wrong game just because I hate the clean sweep, and so I just have to pick the other team. But whatever.
Don't be like these analytics coaches, Rudy. Taking risks just to take a risk. Take your points.
Hey, sometimes you gotta set the tone. Moving on. Browns traveling to Miami, taking on the Dolphins. Who do y'all got there?
The Dolphins.
This Baltimore team is so funny.
What just happened?
They call the timeout and they're all doing bits. Like they're all like giving fake effort and then dying when they the defense throws them on the floor. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, two was for me.
What Dagno swag?
Moving on. A thriller here. The Broncos are traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Who do y'all got?
The Titans. Even
Is
with Malik
Tannehill still
Willis.
dead?
I think.
I mean,
I
you
think he'll
got
probably
you
play.
got the old Malik Willis on the opposite side of the field, so
I think. I think he'll
So
be
are you
back
taking?
this week.
oh okay. Yeah, give me the Titans.
uh, yeah, the Derrick Henrys will get it done. Fans at home, I'm sorry. All right, moving on. The Vikings traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Justin, Ian,
Now,
who do y'all
now
got?
hold on. This guys. Again, you listen to this pod to make money. If you want to make money, you listen to this pod. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know what Vegas is gonna do with in regards to the Josh Allen news. But right now we're looking at Bills minus 9.5. That's too much. Give me the Vikings straight up. They'll definitely cover, and I'm picking the Vikings this week.
Ian?
As a win, I will
Correct.
take. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not believing in this team, but give me the Bills.
Yeah, this is where we break apart, Justin. I too will go with the Bills, and Ian and I will stay undefeated up to that point. Moving on. The Texans are traveling to the Meadowlands to take on the Giants. Who you got?
The G-Men.
Yes, I too will take the Giants.
Although it'll probably be pretty close, if we're being honest.
Yep. Give me the Giants. Moving on. We've got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Fellas, who you got?
Kansas City.
Ian?
What's going on over here, bro? Baltimore. Give me the Chiefs.
Yep.
Although
Almost did it.
another
too
one
will
to
take
keep
the
your eye
Chiefs.
on, guys. A 9.5 spread.
Oh, that's crazy. I think that'll definitely be covered. That's
Those
the
are my
Rudy guarantee.
those are my two picks of the weeks, guys. Come on, make some
All
make some
right.
cash.
And moving on, we've
Wait,
got
Lucy, who'd you take?
Chiefs.
Okay.
Moving on, we've got New Orleans traveling to Pittsburgh, take on the Steelers. Fellas, who you got?
It's a nasty matchup.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, give me the Steel City.
Pittsburgh for me too. Damn, disgusting. All right, 3 o'clock
All right,
window.
Here's a good game.
We've got a new head coach stepping in, putting on the cans. We've got the Colts traveling to Vegas. The cans? That's a term for headphones.
Oh, okay.
Taking on the Raiders. Fellas, who you got?
Las Vegas. Not even a question.
I don't know.
If Sam Ellinger is still the quarterback, it's gonna be Las Vegas. I don't care how many leads Josh McDaniels blows or Who knows
It could
what?
be Jeff Satter's day, like in Las Vegas.
No, not
But
no
with that
way.
pun being said, I will take the next coach to get fired, Mike McDaniel.
John.
And
Oh,
You mean John?
yeah, Raiders get that one done. Moving on. Cardinals traveling to LA to take on the Rams. Fellas, who you got?
Cardinals? Yeah, give me the Cardinals.
yeah, I mean the Rams look like they're about to self implode, but I guess you could say the same thing about the Cardinals. Uh, but give me Coach Bro.
All right, give me McVay. The Rams are gonna sneak this one out. Moving on. Cowboys Packers. Think we all have a consensus pick here.
Yeah, Cowboys.
Dim boy.
Cowboys. All right, now Sunday Night Football. We've got the Chargers taking on San Francisco.
Disgusting.
In San Francisco. Who do y'all got?
San Francisco.
This is just nasty. Give me the Niners.
Yeah, pretty easy for me as well. Niners. And finally, Monday Night Football. We've got the Commanders traveling to Philly, taking on the Eagles. Fellas, who you got?
Although this isn't saying like much, it's just this that just proves how bad Wentz was. That first matchup was pretty close. If Wentz said, didn't want to say, I want to just give the ball to the Eagles all day. So Heineke can at least take care of the football. You might be looking at.
I don't know. He kind of led the comeback for the Vikings with his late game pick that led to the Viking celebration. So the man has his own faults.
But it'll
Despite
probably
his moxie.
the Eagles will win.
Yeah, I will take the Steagles.
And I too will say the Steagles.
Well, Weezy, I have some good news for you. You can't lose.
Did we pick every game
yeah.
the same?
You can't lose the pack if you stick with it. So, no, we have a little bit of discrepancy between the Cardinals and the Rams game and the Vikings and the Bills, but we are on the same page for everything else.
Eesh. Okay. All right. Whatever. I'll do better next week, fans. I might end at the bottom.
Anything else?
No.
Let's get out.
All right, let's get out of here.